What's up and welcome back to the channel, guys. Today I really wanted to talk about kind of what this whole process of turning my dream into a reality has been like for me, and maybe to give a little bit of motivation, a little bit of insight into what it's like and what it actually takes if you really do want to ultimately turn your dreams into a reality. So first things first, I have got a long way to go, like a long way to go, but I'm optimistic. Things have been going really well so far. I'm slowly but surely increasing as far as views, followers, subscribers, all the numbers that count. Slowly but surely, I'm getting my stuff out there. I'm making better content. I'm always improving. Things are starting to go really well for me. With that being said, it's a slow grind. For example, to monetize this YouTube channel, I need 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watched video. To put that in perspective, right now I'm at like 130 subscribers and I'm sitting at about 300 and something watched hours. So yeah, got a long way to go, but I'm not discouraged. Like, I know what it takes. I'm now realizing really the kind of work you actually have to put in and how much time it takes and how hard it is. And I decided, I kind of just sat down and said to myself, like, this is what it's gonna take. You know what I mean? Like, am I willing to do this for the next 6 months, year, 2 years, however long it takes me until I can fully complete this transition? Like, am I willing to do that? I had to ask myself that. And ultimately I said, yeah, this is it. I'm ready. I'm balls to the wall. Like, I'm 100% in on this. The thing I realized about all this stuff, and the reason that not everybody is able to make that transition from something being a hobby or a dream and turning it into a career, is because of the transitional period. The transitional period while you're working on, again, turning it from hobby to career is by far the hardest part of the entire process. Because you have to think, like, right now I work a regular full-time job, so I need some sort of income. I need to maintain my job. I have to have my job to be able to pay my bills and do all those other things. So when I make these videos and I do the podcast and I'm working on all this other stuff, that's all things that are happening in my free time, my downtime. I basically had to decide, like, am I completely willing to take the little bit of free time that I do have left and invest all of it, like literally all of it, into doing this for however long it takes. And that uncertainty, not knowing how long it takes, makes it so much harder. Like, if somebody just told me right now, I guarantee you that it will be exactly 1 year until you can make this transition, that would be so much better. I could know exactly the end point that I'm working toward, how much longer I have left. It would make the whole process a lot easier. But that's not how it works. That's not reality. The reality of it is, who knows how long it's gonna take? I just have to stick with it and grind it out until it happens. So that's one of the hard parts, is just really the uncertainty of when it's going to happen. The other hard part, like I keep saying, is that it's the transitional period. So it's not like I can say, oh, I'm only doing this. If I can invest all my time into this, I really firmly believe it would just start to take off. It would skyrocket. If I could free up the 40 plus hours of a week that I work and use that to invest in this, like, I would easily be able to turn this around so quickly. But again, that's not reality. That's not how it works. That's also why not everybody is able to do it. Turning your dreams into a reality is something that everybody wants to do, but only a select handful of people are actually able to pull it off. I realize this in its entirety right now, but I at least had some idea before. But I think the thing that not a lot of people realize is, seriously, the amount of work, the time, the effort, even the money that goes into it, and you're not getting anything in return. As it stands right now, I'm not making any money off of this stuff. Like, I'm investing so much time, so much hard work, and so much money into all this, and I haven't made the money yet. I say yet because trust and believe is gonna happen. But until then, yeah, 40 hours a week at work, and easily anywhere from like 6 to 10 to 15 to 20 hours a week doing all this other stuff. Let me put it into perspective for you guys too, just because I think it might give everybody who's watching this a greater appreciation for anything you see, whether it be a song, a photograph, a YouTube video, anything you see. Like, content creation, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes that people don't realize the amount of time and effort it takes to actually put some stuff together. Like, we only get the end product. We get that little 5-minute skit or that 3-minute song, or we see that modeling photo. Like, we only get the end product. We don't see the amount of work it took to create that thing in the first place. So I want to give you guys a little bit of insight into my actual work and what it takes for me to create, let's just say, a podcast episode, for example. So if I'm shooting the podcast, right out of the gate, I have to set everything up. I have to set up all the equipment, test everything out, make sure everything's good to go. That usually takes me about 30 to 45 minutes, right? Then obviously I have to sit down and record. I'd say on average, my episodes with people are probably about an hour. So we got an hour for that. And then we're chopping it up off camera for anywhere from like 15 minutes to another hour. So let's just round all that off, and let's just say that by the time we're done recording the episode, I'm already 2 hours deep. Then there's the editing process. I have to watch back through the entire video, color correct it, edit it, make sure that the watermark is there. A couple little things, like the actual editing of the podcast isn't all that hard. It's just the fact that it's such a long video, I have to watch it in its entirety to make sure that everything is good to go. So here we go. Let's just tack on another hour and a half for that. So already we're sitting at 3.5 hours by the time that the video is exported and completely finished. But wait, there's more. After that, I have to get the video up on YouTube. So I have to export it, wait for the video to upload, which is not a big deal. I do other stuff in the meantime, but then boom, the video is up. Now I have to make all the necessary adjustments. I gotta make sure the title is right. I have to put together a thumbnail, make the thumbnail, throw it up, put all the end cards, make sure links and descriptions and all that good stuff is good to go. So let's just tack on another half an hour for that, at least. So we're sitting at what, like 4 hours right now? I haven't even kept track. I'll have a ticker up on the video somewhere so people can follow along, but I think we're sitting somewhere around 4 hours already. Then I have to take certain clips from it for promotional purposes. So let's say I take like a 1 to 3 or 4 minute video clip. That actually requires a little bit of editing because I'm putting titles on it and I'm doing different transitions to it and a bunch of other things. So again, let's say a 1 to 3 minute clip probably takes me about a half an hour to edit. Then again, I have to export that. I have to airdrop it to my phone. I have to send it to the guest. And then here comes the promotional part. So I'm posting, the YouTube link as well as the iTunes link and the Spotify link on a bunch of different social media sites. I post it on Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. Not to mention the fact that I have a whole separate Instagram just for the podcast. So when you really take into account how long it takes to post everything everywhere, keep copying and pasting links, make sure that people are seeing it, make sure everybody's tagged, everything is in order, again, at least another half an hour you're talking with that. So in total, it could take me anywhere between like 3 hours and upwards of 7 or 8 hours on any given episode, per episode. So when you think about that, that's hours and hours and hours of my free time. The little bit that I already did have is going into that. And I'm not making money off of it right now. I'm not getting any sort of return. There's nothing really coming out of it for me right now except for growing my audience and, building upon the content and just continuing to grind and push stuff out. But I understand that I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm not worried right now about paying bills with YouTube money. I'm worried right now about getting to a place where I could realistically, feasibly, and sustainably maintain paying bills with YouTube money. There's so much other stuff that goes into it too, like the merchandise that I have. Like there are so many other things. Like what I'm referring to right now is really just like specifically with the podcast. Like I'm not even talking about when I make like a YouTube challenge video or like a 10-15 minute video that took me 3 or 4 hours to edit. There are so many things, and like I said, I really just hope you guys can get a greater appreciation, not even just for my stuff in particular, but just for any sort of content creation period, like how much work actually goes into making it. It really is a grind, man, and it really just is not for everybody. Like it's just not. But I'll tell you what, it is for me. Like I have decided, like I'm all in. There's no backing out. There's no changing my mind. Like this is what I want to do, and I'm sticking to it. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of insight into my process, as well as just, like I said, the behind the scenes of any kind of content creation. Because trust me, no matter what it is people do, even if it's not content creation, no matter what people do in life, there's always behind the scenes, and there's always a lot of hard work and preparation that goes into it. And I just really think we should all try to better appreciate those things. So with that being said, as always, I appreciate the love. Thank you guys for watching. Give me a like if you don't mind. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.